Remember when $20 filled your cart? Now it barely buys breakfast. Coffee prices have skyrocketed 50%. Rice is vanishing from shelves in over 30 states. Olive oil? It's now more expensive than steak. This isn't fear-mongering, it's your new reality. These 10 everyday grocery items are disappearing fast. Once they're gone, they might not come back. Stock up before it's too late. Number 10. Rice. Picture this. It's dinner time and everyone is looking forward to that classic pot of rice, a staple that complements so many of your family's favorite dishes, from stir-fries to stews. But tonight the pot is empty and the supermarket shelves are bare. The price has shockingly doubled from what you paid just a month ago. The typical 20-pound bag of rice that used to cost less than $15 is nowhere to be found. If you're lucky enough to spot it, it's definitely not at the same price. This isn't a temporary issue. We're in the middle of a real global rice crisis that might keep your kitchen supplies low for years to come. The statistics are alarming. Last year alone, global rice prices have shot up by 20%, according to the USDA. The reason? India, which supplies almost half of the world's rice, decided to ban exports to safeguard their own food supply. On top of that, Asia's rice-growing regions are being hit hard by climate disasters. Vietnam's rice paddies are facing severe floods, while Thailand's fields are parched by persistent drought. This isn't merely about more expensive groceries. For millions of people, rice is central to their cultural traditions and their very survival during tough times. Food banks are sharing that rice donations have dropped by a significant 35% as stocks are getting low. Meanwhile, eateries like sushi places and taco joints are serving smaller portions and charging more to keep up. Remember the days when rice was the affordable go-to? That might be a thing of the past. Shipping costs are still 3 times higher than pre-pandemic levels, and climate change makes every harvest increasingly unpredictable. The days of cheap, plentiful rice could be over for good. Your dinner table is going to look a lot different than you're used to. Number 9. Coffee. Could you imagine starting your day without coffee? So imagine it's early morning, your alarm is going off, and you shuffle into the kitchen in a sleepy haze, desperately needing that initial hit of coffee to kickstart your day. But as you reach for the cabinet, your heart sinks. It's bare. No beans, no grounds, just an echo of where your favorite brew once was. This isn't a scene from a grim futuristic novel. Coffee prices have actually jumped by 50% in the past year, according to the USDA in 2024. And the situation seems to be worsening. The main reasons? A string of environmental disasters that have destroyed crops in Brazil and Colombia, skyrocketing shipping costs that have tripled since 2020, and tough new tariffs that add an extra $2 to every bag of coffee. Do you recall when you could grab a bottomless cup at your neighborhood diner for just $1? Those times are a distant memory now. That same cup will set you back $4, and that's if you can get your hands on it at all. For many hardworking Americans, coffee isn't a mere beverage. It's the very essence that drives their day. Think of the nurses working the night shift, the truckers on the long haul, and the parents barely holding on with just 4 hours of sleep. When that cheap caffeine boost is no longer an option, productivity takes a nosedive. Stress levels rise. The normal flow of the day gets disrupted. But here's the harsh reality. As climate change worsens, so does the cost of your morning coffee. Brazil, a major coffee producer, just experienced its most severe drought in 100 years, while Colombia faced devastating floods that destroyed 30% of their harvests, as reported by the International Coffee Organization in 2024. So take a moment to consider, what is your morning routine worth to you? If things continue as they are, that comforting cup of coffee might soon be a luxury only a few can indulge in. It's wise to stock up while you can, before your morning ritual turns into a costly headache. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these deep dives coming. Alright, now let's get into the next part. Number 8. Olive oil. You know how you used to just casually pour extra virgin olive oil on your salads and pasta without giving it much thought? Well, times might be changing. Prices have shot up by 50 to 70% in the past year, according to Nielsen IQ's 2024 figures, and it seems like this trend is here to stay. The Mediterranean, where most of our olive oil comes from, is having a tough time. Spain and Italy, which together produce 65% of the world's olive oil, are facing a real crisis. Their olive groves are being hit by intense heat waves and really bad droughts, which isn't great for the trees. Spain's harvest has dropped by a huge 60%, and Italy's isn't looking much better. This means that the olive oil we've always had around is now becoming something we might save for special occasions. This isn't just about our cooking. Olive oil is part of our food culture, from grandma's famous sauce to the dip for bread at that cozy Italian place you love. Now, people are starting to use other, less healthy oils because they can't afford the good stuff. And for restaurants, they're either eating the extra cost or taking it off the table completely. Plus, because there's less to go around, we're seeing more fake olive oil on the market, which is a real bummer for everyone. The experts are saying this shortage could last for quite a while, maybe even years. This could change how we cook and what we eat in a big way. And if you think that's bad, wait until you see what's happening to potato chips. The same issues are making your favorite snack harder to find on the shelves. Number 7. Potato chips. That satisfying sound of tearing into a bag of chips? That go-to snack for game nights? Well, it might soon be harder to come by. Potato chips are facing some serious troubles these days, with prices jumping up and bags seemingly getting smaller. The issue starts way before the chips reach the shelves. Idaho, the place that gives us almost a third of all the potatoes in the U.S., had a really tough time growing them last season because of some pretty intense weather. The government's agriculture folks say the price of raw potatoes has shot up by 35% in just 1 year. This means companies that make snacks are in a tight spot, trying to figure out how to keep making chips without losing too much money. But it's not just about the spuds themselves. The oil needed to cook those chips to crispy perfection has gone through the roof in price, now 3 times more expensive than it was just 2 years ago. And let's not forget about getting those chips from the factory to your local store. Transport costs have skyrocketed by 40%, so moving chips around is a costly affair. This has led to what we call shrinkflation. Your usual bag of chips now holds 15% less, but you're paying the same amount. This isn't just about your snack routine at home. Even fast food joints are feeling the pinch, serving up smaller fries for the same price. And those cozy family movie nights? They might feel a bit off when you realize you're sharing a bag of chips that used to be bigger. It's even reaching your office's vending machine with fewer options because the costs are too high. Experts are saying this chip shortage could stick around until 2025, which means we could see some big changes in our snacking habits. And if you thought that was bad news, wait until you hear about the trouble with another food that's a staple for most breakfast tables in the country. Number 6. Imported spices. That pinch of black pepper on your eggs and the cinnamon in your morning oatmeal? They might not be so easy to grab anymore. We're in the middle of a spice crisis that's sneaking up on home chefs everywhere. Spices are getting scarcer and pricier, and it's not just about your wallet feeling the pinch at the supermarket. This situation is like a bad storm that hit the spice world all at once. Vietnam's pepper farms, which give us 35% of our global pepper, are dealing with shipment problems that are taking twice as long as normal. India's cinnamon exports are getting slammed with a 25% tax, and Indonesian turmeric can't even get out of the ports. Spice costs have gone up by a huge 40% in the last year, U.S. Census Bureau 2024. And things are looking grimmer with each passing month. But it's not only about the cash. This affects our culture too. Think of all those family recipes that could change forever because we can't find the right spices. For immigrants, it's like a piece of home is slipping away as these flavors become too expensive or hard to get. And don't forget about the simple joys, like pumpkin spice lattes or baking cookies for the holidays, that might not be the same without them. The scary part? These spices take ages to grow. With supplies getting low and trade still a mess, we might see some of them vanish from our kitchen shelves for good. And it's not just spices. Other things we take for granted in our pantries could be next. This is just the start of a bigger problem. Number 5. Cocoa. You know that feeling when a piece of chocolate dissolves on your tongue? Or the heavenly smell of cocoa that fills your house during the holiday season while you bake? These little moments of happiness are at risk due to the severe global cocoa crisis we're facing today. Prices have shot up by 130% in a single year, which is the largest increase ever recorded. And things could get even worse. The real problem is happening in the sun-drenched cocoa farms of West Africa, particularly in Ivory Coast and Ghana. These two countries produce almost 2/3 of the world's chocolate, but they're now dealing with a serious ecological crisis. Extreme weather conditions like intense droughts followed by heavy rains have set the stage for black pod disease. This nasty fungus is attacking cocoa beans right on the trees, turning them into rotten pods. As a result, many farmers have had to leave their plantations because the crops are just too sick to save. This is affecting all of us chocolate lovers. Your go-to chocolate bar now costs almost twice as much as last year, and in some places, it's hard to find at all. It's putting a damper on our holiday spirits because we might have to choose between spending a fortune on cocoa for those special Christmas cookies or not making them at all. It's also tough for small bakeries that have been using the same recipes for generations. They're having to tweak them because other ingredients just don't have that same rich flavor that chocolate brings. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just a temporary thing. Cocoa trees take 5 whole years to grow up and be ready to harvest. So even if farmers start planting new ones today, we won't see any positive changes until 2029. This means chocolate might go from being a usual comfort to a rare treat. And as if that wasn't enough, another favorite item is slowly disappearing from our freezers. And it could change how we eat at home forever. Number 4. Frozen seafood. That bag of shrimp you usually grab for a quick dinner from the freezer? Those budget-friendly salmon fillets for nutritious meals? They're getting harder to come by in supermarkets, thanks to a combination of factors that's pushing regular seafood options out of reach for many families. The issue stems from a number of challenges. Climate change is really taking a toll on the seafood supply in our waters, with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, saying we're seeing a 17% drop in what we catch compared to recent averages. To add to that, the government has put some pretty steep tariffs on imported seafood, like a 25% extra cost on shrimp and squid. So now that bag of shrimp that used to be a bargain at $12, good luck finding it at that price. This isn't just about your wallet feeling the pinch at the grocery store. It's changing how a lot of us put meals on the table. Weeknights are tougher without those easy protein choices. People watching their diet are losing a go-to lean protein source. Communities by the coast are really struggling because their fishing industries are suffering. Things seem to be getting worse, not better. The experts are saying that if the oceans keep getting hotter and trade issues don't cool down, we might have to get used to seafood being more of a treat than a staple. Number 3. Almonds. That satisfying crunch of almonds in your morning granola or the creamy almond milk in your latte might not be around for long thanks to California's ongoing drought. It's a bit of a shock when you think about it. Just 16 almonds require 15 liters of water to grow, and with the state's water supply dwindling, we're facing a real problem. The situation is pretty serious. Prices for almonds have shot up by 28% in the last year alone, according to figures from the Almond Board of California. If you're a farmer in the Central Valley, where most of the world's almonds are grown, it's like watching your hard work and livelihood just dry up and blow away. The trees are getting thirsty, and it's not just affecting the almonds themselves. Even the bees that help make our snacks possible are feeling the pinch, with the cost of their pollination services taking up a huge chunk of the farmers' budgets. 30% to be precise. This isn't a small deal, just about our wallets feeling a bit lighter when we grab a bag of nuts. It's changing the way we eat. Families who've switched to almond milk for health reasons are now looking at prices that have doubled, making it a real tough choice at the supermarket. And don't even get me started on cereals and protein bars. They're either getting more expensive or changing their recipes because of this, and let's be honest, nobody wants that. What's even more worrying is that this isn't a short-term problem. California's water troubles are here to stay for a while, and that means the days of cheap, easy access to almonds might be behind us. Number 2. Tropical fruits. You know that delightful banana in your breakfast smoothie and the creamy avocado you spread on your toast? Well, they're getting harder to come by and costing a pretty penny these days. Climate issues and problems with shipping are making tropical fruits more like rare gems than everyday grocery items. The trouble starts in the places where these goodies grow. Avocado trees in Mexico are getting cooked by heat waves we've never seen before, and last year's crop took a hit, down by 15%. Bananas, mostly coming from Ecuador and Costa Rica, are fighting a nasty fungus that's spreading like wildfire because it's hotter than ever. And let's not forget the mangoes in Brazil and India. Their crops are suffering too because the rain isn't playing nice with their flowering season. Now, getting these fruits from the farm to your fridge isn't a walk in the park either. With shipping containers in short supply, it's costing 3 times more to get them here. And when they finally do arrive, they might be in less than perfect shape. The bananas might need a bit more ripening and could be bruised after their long journey. And with fuel prices going through the roof, having these tropical treats all year round isn't looking so green anymore. This isn't just a phase or a fluke. The USDA says banana prices have gone up by 30%, and avocados are playing yo-yo with their prices. It's affecting everyone, from millennials who can't always splurge on avocado toast to immigrant families trying to keep their traditional recipes intact. Schools are even swapping out bananas for apples because the cost is just too high. As the climate keeps throwing us curveballs, we might need to get used to seeing these fruits only occasionally and paying top dollar for them. It's a big change from having them at our fingertips whenever we want. Number 1. Canned foods. That dusty can of tuna you have in your pantry? Those emergency beans you never thought you'd actually need? They're turning into reminders of a more reliable past as supermarket shelves are looking more bare each month. The time of having plenty of canned food is changing fast, and it's changing how we think about being ready for anything in the kitchen. The first part of the problem is the ocean. Tuna numbers have gone down so much that some experts say a can could cost $5 in just 2 years. And let's not forget the bean situation. The area in America where we grow most of our beans is really dry, which means last year we had the smallest pinto bean crop in 30 years. Even canned corn, something that was always easy to find, is now being limited at some big stores that keep supplies in warehouses. This isn't just about things getting more expensive. Those cans of food meant something important. They were like a promise that no matter what, you'd be able to put food on the table for your family. But now that promise is being questioned. A food crisis is on the horizon. Coffee prices are all over the place. Rice is hard to find on the shelves, and chocolate bars are getting smaller. This isn't just about inflation. It's also because of climate change messing up crops, shipping problems, and countries fighting over trade. What can we actually do about this? Well, I've started to switch some of my usual foods to local options that are less likely to be affected by these issues, like using quinoa in place of rice or trying chicory coffee. Getting better at cooking with dried beans and things that last a long time in the pantry is also a good move. Plus, I've been spending my money with farmers and groups that are working on making sure we'll have food in the future. The main idea is we can't solve the world's food problems right away, but we can make our own kitchens less likely to be hit hard. If we all make some small changes now, it'll mean we won't get such a big surprise later on. Who's ready to join me in this? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Your support means the world to us. And before you go, check out the video on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.